Maybe. Oh, okay. So I just spent the last 2 minutes like freaking out and figured out that I never actually clicked the go live button on that one. So apparently now those 2 minutes are gone, but that's okay. Basically I was just rambling on to see whether or not the last one wasn't going, but now I didn't actually turn this one on. So there's a lot of steps to it. Okay. Welcome. Where does this go from here? Hi. I got a link apparently to this one now, which means that the chat is now this one. So let's update that real quick. This is why I want to do that like 1 minute beginner time so I can get everything going. Okay, how we doing? Now that that's all, it's getting settled. We got some people. Thank you. That was really weird. Like my Streambox, my what do you call it? Streamlabs OBS. I clicked go live and it was like, hey, wait a minute. Your YouTube or your live or your title is incorrect, or it couldn't like sync the title, and it was really weird. So apparently it just killed the first one, and then I tried doing it again, and it was like, hey, wait a minute, the title is somewhere in the abyss now. Now there's two of them, but you named them both the same thing. What am I gonna do? I guess it's okay. And then I clicked the go live button after that, and it's going. So hopefully you guys are doing good. Okay. That was weird. How we doing? We're good. Okay. Yeah, as long as people now know that. I don't know why this is weird. Why this sometimes doesn't work. It's really weird. Hopefully. Yeah. So we'll go with this one. Hopefully. It seemed like Star did link to the other one. Hello. Yeah. I was gonna type and say like the thumbnail is weirdly appropriate now. Another expression is how I'm feeling. The thumbnail one. So I guess we'll leave a bit, because there's some weird news I gotta talk about. That's gonna be a little important, but let's see, I can go to our animation to have something for you guys to look at. Deselect that, and there we go. That's what I got so far. Obviously this is just the base puppet test to see everything's working and moving and everything. So we basically have enough to get dirty enough with it that we could animate it with stuff, or at least change it into another character, and we should be able to do enough stuff that it'll seem okay. But being a weird perfectionist I am, I like to make sure that I have at least, 50 mouths and enough blinks that I can do like 10 or more different expressions with each one of those, So, oh boy. 11. I read that as Rocco, like Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's still life's fun. It is a little hard to get into it. So let me actually get rid of that. Yeah, it'll be fine. As long as people get in here, we'll be good. Hello. People start piling in. Thank you. Hi, Stefan. And hi, Sprinkles. And Cookie. Thank you for holding the fort with your comments. Makes it life. So life's fun. I talked about that in junior high. I had to draw a shoe, and that was actually the hardest thing I had to draw. I could not draw my own shoe. That was really hard. Of course, the model or famous example is always to do the pears and apples on in a basket, and you draw the fruit. Let's see. Motorcycles might be a lot. Just because you have to at the bend in, and there's a specific amount of timings, and each forelegs have to be precisely timed, and well, it's not making it too gummy, I guess, with the legs. So I'll hold off on that just because motorcycles take a long time. So, but yeah, we'll definitely get some other stuff in here. Yeah. Okay, that's fine, Cookie. Thank you for showing up for that bit. Okay, so I'm just looping this just so we can get some context of what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay. Once we all get going, because I do have something somewhat ish noteworthy, but not, you know, like, whoa, it's just like, whatever. So, make sure we're all here for it. Otherwise, I have to repeat it the entire time, and I don't want to do that. But I guess that's the nature of live streams, is that you have to do it a lot as people come in and out. It's not like a video where people, you can, you know, for one user watching a video, it's more likely that if you just say it once, then people would hear it. But with live streams, people go in and out so much, you have to repeat it a lot. I'm stalling, but it's good stalling. Yeah, we're doing. So I have it set there for 2 weeks for us to do something else with it. Oh, okay. I think like even in like one of my art classes, like it was like fake fruit, so it was like one of those, you know, like styrofoam pears and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely ways to go about that. But yeah, let me work on this a little bit. So to-do list, I'm not sure. This also kind of goes into the news as well. I don't know why I'm calling it news. Okay, I'll just go ahead. What kind of context? How should I describe it? That the, well, I guess TLDR is that there would be a high chance that there won't be a live stream on Thursday. So that's why I was a little bit scared of. If Tuesdays doesn't work, then that'll be a whole week without a stream. So thankfully this works. So, so yeah, I'm just getting nerves back so I can work on this well. But yeah, so no stream on Thursday. I'm gonna take a little break, I guess. Family member wants to do something on Thursday, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, don't you know what I do? And they haven't talked to me yet, so it's like, here we are. Time to have to go and join them. So yeah, it's high possibility. It depends on obviously how long the activity lasts. But I do have to go pretty far out and then far back. So yeah, it's 99.99% chance that no stream on this Thursday. So but hopefully, yeah, on next Tuesday then we'll have something. So that kind of leads in like how much work I should do this stream, or just kind of pick out like specific points that maybe will be interesting for you guys. And I could just highlight those, or how I would go about them if you're curious. For specifically puppet building, we can do that. Answer some questions about that. Because I think my new strategy is going to be that I will do this stream that we're doing now, and then for the rest of the week, take some time and try to fill this little puppet up with a little more stuff. Maybe more mouths, little blinks, hooves, maybe a walk cycle. And then for the next Tuesday, then we can do a script for it, and then choose different characters out of that script, and then make characters with this base puppet, and then go from there to make an animation. So that's the big overarching plan for all this, is to make some kind of animation with some kind of character. So right now I'm trying to make a new fresh puppet to have enough stuff that I can just work with it without being like tied down to, oh, I only have like one leg, so the only thing I can animate is, you know, the pivot of it, rather than being expressive and whatever. So yeah, I don't know, I forgot to share it. I got scared of what which one's actually working or not. So that one's the one not working. This one's the one that is working. Let me just put this on Twitter real quick, and then go to Discord and pop it there. So that's usually what I do during the first minute, just because it looks pretty lame when I do it like that. So there you go. Okay. I don't even know. Yeah, just don't call it. Yeah, no stream on Thursday. There we go. Let me go back to here. That's true. You can post it on Discord. but I have to do it on the Twitter. Not that there's too many followers on Twitter, but I think it kind of works for a little bit. I'm stalling just to get everything going, as well as we had that weird stream buffer at the beginning. So, yeah. But I think we can get going. So we can pick out different things, make a to-do list. So if I watch this later, I can figure out like, oh yeah, I should do some of these parts though, when we get to it. The things to do, obviously it does have, again, enough stuff to make something out of it. So we got drawing substitutions. I don't think we need this purple version. I'm not sure what this one is. So I can just clean this up and get rid of that. Which means that it deleted everything else there and made an actual keyframe there. So there we go. Okay, so that's good. Cheeks good. Mouth. That's what I mean. They have all these different mouth shapes, which have been going through the entire time. So you can see like it adds a lot, but it doesn't have more than enough that I would like. As well as they're all kind of small, so we could have more mouths that are like the big CalArts mouth, for lack of a better term, with the teeth, as well as having full flaps for that. That'd be nice. So we get more expressive if we want to, rather than being tied down again to these specific drawings, things like that. Ear is pretty good. Hair obviously will be dependent on what character it is. So I don't want to care about that too much, but more just about the layering of how things are. Like the eyebrows here are pretty cool. Like they get masks inside of the eye, but like the eyebrow line is above everything. So I think that's my favorite part of this. All the puppet is that I figured that out. Let's see. Cartoons is. Trying to do a to-do list of what I think I want to do, or at least things that I would like to fix or something. Looks like there's multiple frames here, so I want to get rid of these ones just for cleanup. There you go. Make sure we're good there. It deletes there. Pop. There you go. Which means that probably also. A lot of these probably have extra frames. Yeah, it should be fine now. So this people needs to also disappear. Bop, 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 bop. How are we doing? Okay, cool. I would like to have the sprinkles a little bit more. I found out that they're actually go down much further, as well as having multiple colors. And so when I put it's hard to see because everything's blurry. But I did add a little Gaussian blur to the sprinkles, so I could figure out how to do that more, or maybe have it a little behind glow, or just not worry about the blur. I don't know, but I will need again much more sprinkles all the way down to near the bottom here, as well as having two different, or so at least, different colors. I've noticed that some characters in One Life do have less sprinkles, so, or at least they have more colors to them. So I'll just also kind of depend on which character it is. Like Rarity might have more sparkly eyes, rather than Twilight has much more dim, or it's hard to see the sprinkles themselves. So stuff like that is weirdly they're not all the exact same model. Even I'm making a base puppet, it's they're all kind of gonna be a little different anyway. So weird stuff like that I would never actually think of, because obviously these dots are so new to the series for this specific art style as well. So let's see. Can't see the horn. There it is. Let's give it the other one just for clarity. The horn it might just have to be, for the magic, I might just have a new layer rather than trying to bake it into the horn itself, because the horn would have to be masked in between two pieces of hair, so that'll be tricky. Let's see. And then that was just the head. And then all the body parts of adding more legs and different frames to it, rather than trying to make it an actual elbow joint, which again we could add envelope deformers, or curve deformers, which basically just are like this. We're gonna add a curve deformer to the leg. Those are just a little adding 2 points to there as an example, and then saying I can like transform it now. So it's like it kind of works for, you know, up to a bit, I would say, but you can definitely animate with this in a way. We just have to be very careful of how do you kind of like figure this out, and then getting this up and you're saying like, oh well, you need to go down and you need to rotate a little bit there and figure it out. But obviously it breaks very easily with the outline there, and definitely don't go around in more than 360 degrees. So this is definitely a possibility, but from what I could see from the cartoon, that they don't exactly use this particular style exactly. Let me just go back. Let's see. What did I say? Thank you. So instead of doing this weird, wacky, like, let's make it all jelly and fun, because this is a, I believe, at least to Flash, a definitely different tool that Flash does not have. So we could definitely do something like that if we really want to, or at least, I don't know. Problem is that it works, and it works great, but it's also not accurate to opponent life, which I'm trying to be as accurate as I can, while trying to be, you know, eventually like some parts will be a little bit different no matter what I do. So like these wings that I tried to animate it, which I've not touched it yet since last time, so it is a little bit still weird. But it does have enough of a flap that I'm gonna be okay with it. But that'd be another thing. I'm doing a to-do list of everything that I need to do. So obviously the key mark will be dependent on the character again, so I'm not worried about that, as well as the tail will also be dependent on the character. So I don't need to worry about that. So back legs again will be the same thing. Especially if there's like sitting poses, or it could have like a different body pose, like a different one that's like a sitting upright pose. So yeah. Out of all that, what would you like to see? I don't know. It could be rhetorical, but I just want to know if there's anything you guys be interested in as I look at my stuff. Sorry about that. So let's see. What would be more interesting to look at? If anything I just described. That was a lot of things. Let's see. Work circle. I can at least do the legs then. And with those different legs, then I could probably have different poses of it being bent, that it could be become a walk cycle per se. Let's do that then. I could just choose different poses for the legs and go from there. I think it'd be interesting. Okay, thank you for that. Let's go to OpenGL view, make sure. Okay. Let's open this. Let's see. Get all my panels ready, because I was like in show mode basically for that. And I can see my colors and the palette, which I don't really need to see. So as my pictures for my drawing substitutions, my drawing isolation view, and then my camera view is on the left. If I wanted to, I can also do it in 3D, which is completely different from anything I just talked about, but it's like it's pretty cool. It's now exists in 3D for no reason. It always has been. This Toon Boom has always been in 3D. Oh boy. Okay. Let's click hand. Okay. Let's draw another leg. It doesn't matter which one I really go for, so let's go for that. Okay. Cookie. I'm gonna draw a bent leg. Let me see if I have any references over here, just to make sure I have anything. If there's one that's like really good, I could just use or just reference. That'll be good. I think just making it like bent will be good. Or or just curve these lines without it seem like it's being bent. It's gonna be the trickiness of this. Obviously there's very simple points here. Let's make that pretty simple. Let's see. Kind of deciding that I wanted to bend from here to here. And then just kind of get everything kind of just bend in that way. So obviously all these points will have to be like that. These can bend a little bit too, I guess. Or like they're being arched around, like they're being turned around maybe. I like using the arrow keys, so sorry that that's a little loud, but it helps me with flipping through these different frames here. Especially just like highlighting different pieces and just kind of moving it per pixel. Let's see. There's be like a slight bend to it. It's not really too much at this point. The keyboard. Well, I got a really loud keyboard. There's like probably ASMR or something with this. Okay. I'm just gonna keep bending this. I think I've been working with Toon more often than not, which is also good and bad because like my normal paper Derpy movie, I'm still making and animating in Flash, so to say like I've been doing more on Toon stuff is yeah, just means that I'm doing less work on Derpy movie, which still trying to do, but I'm also realizing just how much work and actual how much I'm not quite really doing, I guess, or just how much more to do I can say on it. That's like it's a lot. I was actually thinking for one of these streams, like I said, instead of doing like a Bob Ross filler, I could do like show off the Derpy movie, but now that the Thursday's canceled, that won't exactly be too easy to do. No. It's kind of just taking it as kind of just choosing different parts and then moving it. Is there a rhyme and reason? Of course, but it just feels like it's just kind of taking it wherever it wants to go, you know? With all these different points. It's like, oh, you wanna be bent that way? That's okay. You can also turn on onion skin so I can see exactly where I was before. Now I can see about that. As well as making sure that everything's about the same there. Alright. Sounds made to make the keyboard sound like a typewriter because I can feel it in my keyboard being quiet. Oh yeah. It's kinda like how like the electric cars, like they like add in or pump in like engine noises because like people were used to, you know, cars being loud. So it's like electric cars are so quiet. And I was like, wait a minute, did it turn on? It like would add in engine sounds or something. It's just still really cool. Okay, let's go back to. I think I'm gonna go with that as a piece, and then So in practice, I could use this and then just kind of rotate it and then say like, oh, it rotated and go whoop whoop. So now I can have more flims, I guess, to it. What am I saying? So it could like roll up or roll down. So I can practice how that's how it'll work. Okay, let's reset that. Okay, up, up. Alright, let's go back to 1 and then duplicate this so we can still have the same first one again. And I believe the last, yeah, I've set the layers of the drawings to be the same, like they're clones of each other, so they'll be taking the same drawings up here, so the 1, 2, 3 is the same as 1, 2, 3, even though they're different layers and different pieces and stuff, but the way that I cloned it means that they'll have and continue to have more frames. So, oh, here we go. Alright. V8. Okay, and pump the sounds inside a red car. That's so cool. It's such a weird concept. It's like just... I think it's... Still got it sound, you know, like a real car. When it's not. I don't know. I'm so confused with what I'm saying right now. Let's, what did I do? Oh, I was doing that one. Okay, never mind. I wanted this one on frame 3. Got lost there. Okay. This is frame 3 on front. So now I can do the opposite. Just kind of get that going there. And then just kind of push everything the other way. Like as if now it's being pulled this way. Oops. That's cool. Okay. Just remind myself not to do that again. Pull it. Twist it. Curve it. Oh dear. It's because we still have that line up there. It's okay to... And that'll still work. Let's make this a little smoother. Let's get rid of that. Don't do that. I guess like vector, like I've always wondered like why they, like I'm literally just moving this point and like bending it, but like as a separate point here. Like I can delete this point here and then move it. And then sometimes, there you go, it like adds an extra point that I didn't want to have because I want it to be as minimal points as possible. But I just wanted to curve this out and then it'll create an extra point whenever I don't mean to or don't intend to have. So it's like, just go away. I want to just bend this out. Oh dear. I also gotta make sure that volume is also conserved. You can see, kind of getting little messages because it's trying to do a weird curve here. Let's see. See if I can curve this back out. Just making sure that when doing this weird vector stuff, trying to make sure that the vectors are all happy. Especially when trying to rotate things or try to pull things in an opposite direction that it needs to be. So you kind of just, yeah, the process is just kind of just moving it and then going back to each curve and like seeing these little bobbles and then just making sure that they're all happy again. That'll make it smoother again. So let's see. So that's kind of like going bent backwards, but with the going up technique, now it's like she's kind of like going woo, like her elbow is going up. So it makes sense in a way. There you go. Okay. And that'll also help a little bit when doing walk cycles, that there might be some kind of reverse backwards posing as well. Because I know in like the animator survival kit, to do like bigger poses, you want to have like reverses. Like when you slam your, I think the example is when you slam your hand on a desk, that like the elbow somehow like breaks. So you want to break limbs when animating. So always good to have reverses of whatever your poses are. There's a weird general rule for that. Let's see. I want this to be a little bit pulled out. Okay. Let's do onion skin so I can see where it was. So it'll be there. So this is way off that mark, which was here. That was good. So as long as this all kind of shimmies around there. And then just play with the vectors again. Turn that off. And saying like this needs to be put out a little bit. Realizing your mistakes, and then just kind of going back and forth and just saying what needs to really get done here is removing parts like that. Just removing as many points as possible, because then it makes it easier to move things around. Because obviously if there's like 100 points you have to move, then the more things you like change individually, like small points, then you'll have more things to worry about than if there's less. If that makes sense, I hope. So just work as smooth as possible. Is to have as many less points as possible. Try to define the points with few as many points. So then it's like, oh, instead of having like 100 points to get from here to here, it's like, oh, I just need to move that one piece. So I'm not too worried about that. Not even looking at the other side, but just kind of looking at isolation. And it's like, yeah, a nice stance. That's good. Okay. All right. Oh boy, how we doing? I got Origami King on release day. It's interesting. I just have to remind myself that it's not Paper Mario or Thousand Year Door. It's different. It's not gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. Miyamoto doesn't want it to be the same, so it won't be the same for what we expect or want it to be. So if you just live with that, just say like, hey, you know, it's not gonna be the same. It's to Thousand Year Door. It's gonna be different. Then just enjoy yourself with it. Then I think you'll find yourself enjoying it more than you would have. Yeah. I mean, like even like Alpha Star, Alpha Dream, Mario Luigi, RPG people, they like remade the first game, but then they, you know, didn't quite have the rest of the funds to keep going. But you know, so that might also be a weird also trigger for Nintendo to say like, hey, we're, you know, old games don't sell well, or old techniques or something. It doesn't have that gimmick to make it interesting. You know, I gotta have it be something, have an identity. Its identity is the gimmick. Rather than having good characters or good design or something. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's got that gimmick to it, man. That made it sell, you know. It's like the Wii, why did that sell? The Wii sold because it had a gimmick. Every game on it had to have something, motion controls or something usable. So, obviously, yeah, I'm trying to keep an open mind with it and just say like, yeah, it's not my Paper Mario, but it's like it's fun. It's fun on its own, so I think that's more important. So I'm having fun with it. I got definitely into chapter 1, even though it's just still like right outside the castle. Got pretty far. I don't know how much I spoiled it, but I definitely spoiled a lot in the previews. So probably as far as like the first, you know, level of the preview or something. We could have like a bit knee or something. Actually, let me go back. I think we're just gonna redraw it from scratch here. We're gonna draw like a different, completely different, like, hop, kind of a leg. So that'll be my base, and I'll just figure this out. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's hard because it's like, it's definitely not an RPG, which is something that I would expect from a Paper Mario game, is that experience points, badges, interesting combat, a will and reason to want to go into a battle. The new one doesn't have that. So again, with that, it's just like, you have to say, like, it's doesn't have RPG elements. It's not gonna be, it's gonna have its own identity, but also not be, you know, have like the specific like traits that you would like it to have, which isn't, you know, it makes for an interesting game, but if it just has to rely on that circle ring mechanic for 40-50 hours on a casual run, it's gotta be hard, yeah, to keep wanting to go back into those and say, like, yes, I would love this ring thing, which I'm starting to like learn how to do it well. So it's kind of like less of a puzzle now, because it's like, it doesn't have all the puzzles are simple enough in like the first level that it's like, it's usually the same puzzle every time, which makes it boring to keep doing the same sort of puzzles over and over and over. So hopefully I'll get to a part that's like, hey, instead of doing it with the rings going like, you know, what you've been doing, maybe there's something else that makes it interesting, but I just haven't got there yet. That's what I'm doing, is just like doing the same two strategies of getting them in a line or getting them in a 4-box. So that's doesn't create like longevity, and it's like, oh yes, I want to go back to that and say like, yes, I want to do the same thing again, please. Yes, let me do the same strategy once again. I can't wait, you know. But otherwise, the story and everything else, everything meta that's not the battles, is flawless. It's funny and great. Oh boy. Average, it has XP, which newer one. Yeah, newer one does not have XP. The only experience is coins, which, you know, literally like within like an hour into Origami King, I had like 10,000 coins. So the economy was kind of busted from the very beginning. I was like, wait a minute, why do I have 10,000 coins? If they were like translated into, you know, experience, and it's like that'd be great, but it's not. So you're just hanging around with like doing certain things over and over with the battles, and then you get not much in return. The only thing you get is like these experience points of coins, which then you can buy certain things. But what you get isn't that interesting either, because like even those have like limits. So they don't, the special items and special weapons will only last for like a certain amount of turns. So it even like detriments you to not even want to use the special items, because you'll know that they'll eventually break, which is the Breath of the Wild kind of stance with that. That's like, well, why would I want to use an item if it's gonna break eventually? At least to me, it's like, I'm not into consumable items, which it's a little bit longer longevity than the other one, Color Splash, where those ones were extremely consumable. That they would just be a one-time only thing, or one-time use, like a card or a sticker. So they try to bring the old battle back. The battles are similar, at least they have the strategy sort of element that you're choosing what you want to do for each turn, and the moves last longer than one turn. But at the end of the day, it's still like, hey, you know, especially with the special items or the more powerful items, which lets you get at a store. Those ones only last for around 5-10 turns, so you eventually have to run out of those. Which some of those are more powerful and like actual useful than obviously the starter ones, but those ones have very, very specific, like, hey, use this one for spiky enemies, or be able to jump on a spiky enemy. So it's like, oh, that's useful. But again, you'll only be able to use it for a limited amount of time, so it's like, oh, why bother? So then you just go back to your old habits of using the same stuff you've been using for the couple last half hour or more throughout your beginning journey. So you're not really progressing into it either. So it has its own problems in that way. In that regard. So but everything else is great. There's humor, there's music. Music's fun, so I would recommend it on that, but yeah, again, just don't think of it as a Paper Mario game, or what you want it to be as a Paper Mario game. It's like it'll work out. Let me see. I'll think this line is it's an 8. I would have done it not as 8, so that's why we're doing it. Okay, 8 is great. Okay. Find an audience. Yeah, those ones work great. Especially with the partners, because they would like change up your strategy. They would make you do different things per turn. They make you say like, hey, I'm not just gonna jump and bounce on you, I'm gonna maybe tattle on you, or I'm gonna lay down bombs in more complicated situations, or maybe just, you know, go for an all-out defense attack, or hide in the shadows. Is way more interesting than bonk or jump on people. So to that regard, it's like, if there's no partners in Origami King, which I haven't got to yet, so I don't know if for sure whether or not they have partner battles or what they do. So if they don't have that kind of strategy, it's like it's gonna be rough. Oh boy. Every character have a personality trait. They used to. You could like in Devs on Your Door, you could like tattle on every character with Goombella, and Goombella would tell you something about every character. Especially in Rogue Part, every character in Rogue Part had something to say, or a personality to them. But the new ones is like, hey, I got rolled up as a dog. I'm arfing and I'm barking, and thanks Mario. Woof woof. You sure saved me, but I sure did like being a dog. Woof. Is now that was being reduced to. So durability, I don't know. Guess it doesn't have weapons. That was attitude. Yeah, it has axes. Yeah. Something about sound that serious. But like animation, you know, I'm sure like in the 80s and probably before then, like animation to like executives or business people, animation would have been like a genre for kids rather than an art style or a medium to tell a story. So thankfully we got past that, where now business people are now fans of cartoons and stuff, so now we can have more interesting stories, or more grown up, or more interesting stories with animation rather than just being a genre for kids. So I'll say on that. Okay, now I got a leg going up, and it's kind of bent up, kind of a thing. Maybe we could have a line instead go the other way. Like that. And then pop it. It has to be that way. Nope, it doesn't like that way. It likes that way? Okay. I'll go with that. Okay. Fun on you. Yeah, the audience was fantastic. The new one has an audience. It's a bunch of toads on bleachers, and they talk sometimes, and sometimes they might say something interesting, but most of the time it's the same 4 quotes every battle. If there was a generic Toad outside your door, they would have lampshaded on that and say like, "Hey, are you just a generic Toad?" And he would say, "Yahoo!" You know. So it is way better. There you go. There's the leg going up. So you do that. I think I might want to make this a little shorter, or at least make this somehow a little bit less. There you go. Okay. That'll do for now. Okay. Yeah. It was a bad place. Doug's. It was great, yeah. Got away with a lot of stuff. Except for, you know, they wasn't allowed to have the chalk outline of the Toad in that one room. As a Japanese exclusive. That's where it drew the line. You know, you can have a noose, whatever, but man, you can't have a chalk outline of a Toad. Because that's actual violence. Or implication of that, I guess. But yeah. Go ahead and have that in the middle of your town. That'd be drawing a line with that. Let's see. Okay. Pop, pop. Let's duplicate it once more, and then let's see if there's any more other ones I would like. Maybe we can have one that shows like the bottom of it, like it being like towards us maybe. So we'll have to change the perspective of it. I won't change the tilt of it, so it'll be the same tilt, but just imagine it being rotated up. So I guess I could do that here. So be up, and then it'll be like somehow face towards us or something. So let's figure that out. Okay. I'll do that for probably the last one here. What now we're doing? What's new? Hi there. I haven't heard from you either. Or have I? I don't know. Let's see. Doing good. Now the stream kind of had a weird glitch at the beginning, so figured that out. But that just took a while to figure it out. Most of the stuff's good. I've been playing Paper Mario's. That's what we've been talking about. Let's see. Okay. That'll do it. Let's see. Would it be 12? No, it'd be 8. I'll go with that. So it'll be that, and then I'll have points, and then maybe I'll color it the right color. Or maybe I'll select the line with select tool and then select it, and then go to my change this button and then tilt it around. Yeah, there we go. So I love that works. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, that actually kind of works. They're not exactly in. Yeah, it actually could work like this. On the left here. And they kind of like bend up. So if you wanted something like that, that could work. We can have another one of this, but maybe like longer or something, and then kind of tilt it. Let's see. You're collecting more. Ah, jeez. Sorry about that. Not much I can do about that, unless I change when I do it. Yeah. So if that's another thing. We can do it during toast time of whether or not I was thinking that we could whether or not do a stream on Friday for whatever reason, and then stretch, and then decide from there whether we want to do something special for that or go longer or something to make it up for you for not doing a Thursday stream, which honestly I didn't really have much of a choice. That just kind of like sprung on us. At least to me, I didn't know whether or not that that this family outing would actually happen. I was not made aware of it, so that's why I'm a little bit like, I have to redesign everything and remake the stream schedule to accommodate for that now. Okay. Just gonna bend it a little bit. Bop, bop. So now she extend arm to be able to enunciate further. Oh dear. Something up and down here. Let's see. Sorry, I just got really into this now. Okay, I think it's good. I could pull these out to be straight, which makes these work a little better. Okay. That's like that. Let's pull these out. Okay. It's supposed to be like, hey, what's over there? But then she like extends her arms for no reason. So she's like, whoa, is that something? Let's see. So I can animate her. Where she goes, what? Oh, let me bend my leg. But it's like, what's over there? Extend. There you go. Okay. Let's not have that pose. Resting for too long. Okay. Let's see. Here's another refrain. Maybe make it longer. Okay. I think it can work. Mm-hmm. Same 3 a.m. just means 3 a.m. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. That's much time as we can really do, I think. Thanks for teaching me about nothing. I don't know why I just said that. Okay. Thanks for talking about the walk cycle, because now I got all these different legs, which both of these can now do. And that works. Oh, and this one. So now they both can go out. Woo. I think the... Yeah, okay. The pivot point is in the wrong place. There we go. So I have to check that on everything else as well. So now she can wave. There you go. Yay. Okay. Blomp. Yeah. This doesn't make any sense, but here we are. Yay, just give me a hug. So we can do weird stuff like this now, which could have been done earlier, but now I got more options to be able to do, like, hey, what if one of them was, like, bent a little bit down? Hang on. One of them was bent. Actually, he's like, whoa, I need to pick up that, but also reach for something else. So, now we got that as an option. That's what I mean, like, because we're doing all these invisible edits, pretty much, like, all these mouths. Like, I made, like, how many mouths already? Like, 20? So I have, like, 20 mouth shapes, but they all will help later on, but right now it's like they're all invisible because you only get to see one of them at a time, rather than all these other, like, you don't really see all these frames, you know, honestly, like, just like one frame, so that's why I'm having it going along. So I think we'll call it here. I know that the first couple minutes was just trying to get everything set up, so I think I'm happy with everything that I got so far. So, okay, we go to toast time. Thank you. So, welcome back. Yeah, let me just read some of your chat to see if I miss anything. What's that as RPGs, but it's not an RPG. That's true. Okay. Hi, Pony. Yeah, so hopefully, yeah. We could either, I don't know. One of my first plans was just to have no stream, obviously on Thursday, but also no stream on Friday. And then during the week I can work more on this course, and then make stuff that I've just did today, where I made a bunch of different legs or different eyes or different mouths and everything that I described at the beginning, at the head of this as well. We could not do it. I don't know. yeah, I think I'll take a break. I'm gonna take a break on Thursday and just hang out with family and then have fun with that, and then just have no stream until next Tuesday. I think that'll be. The only thing I'm slightly worried about is obviously you guys with the audience, as well as how YouTube will like it if I'm not with my regular stream schedule, I guess. So that's the only thing I'm like, maybe I should somehow, or maybe I can like even on Thursday try to schedule it a couple hours later, but now I'm realizing that might not be better for some people now, especially with the 3 a.m. person. Thank you. That'll be even worse for you. So great. All right. Yeah. Exactly. Honestly, the only like thing that I kind of do this for is the selfish way of just like working on stuff. So working on projects, especially like some of the earlier ones. My 3-year-old streams were just because obviously I didn't have the people to chat with, and then I just kind of like just focused on the project. So now I'm trying to do both and trying to balance that out of doing stuff with you guys, but also kind of just working on stuff as well. So yeah. Hey Padre, welcome. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Obviously now, because I'm dedicating a lot more time, or at least spending the time that I could have worked on more Greenwater cartoons or more Derpy cartoons, I'm now spending that time on Midnight Mares. So I'm not really actually gaining any time per se to work on the movie. So yeah, beforehand my time was split between Derpy cartoons and then maybe the movie, or maybe just thinking about the movie. But now it's like I gotta split my time between the movie and Midnight Mares. So, which we spent like all day trying to figure out how to get the storyboarders to like sync up which scenes to work on. So that actually took quite a while to get that all set up. So now we got like a couple assigned scenes for them to work on. So now they have something to work on. So yeah. Big oof. Let me drink some water. Okay. Do a lot of nins here as well. Yeah. That up in the stream. Yeah. I don't know. Because I was planning on, trying to get the movie part 3 done for Origami King release, but yeah, my nightmares kind of took up a lot of time. Or just a lot of like redos that needed to be scheduled. So that was hard. Hi, Brown Jack. So, that's basically the big reason why I haven't got that done yet. As well as also realizing just how big the the part 3 is actually going to be, to assemble. Again, I always like separate, making cartoons as making things, creating assets, and animating. Like, they're completely different jobs. Like, what we just been here for the last month was making an assets for the puppet, which now, just by going through these different assets, like the mouths and different positions, that then it can then be animated. So, yeah. So once I get the base done, or just adding more parts, like maybe more legs, or maybe more back legs, and deal with those, and more mouths and everything I talked about. Excuse me. That was a sneeze. Let's see. I wouldn't call it an odds and end. This is a slightly big project of trying to get this whole base puppet, which I'm trying to put a lot of effort into. Thank you. Gonna be sniffling. Change the logo. Oh, cool. Great. Looks good. So yeah, once we get all these assets in, then I can make a character out of it and then animate it. So I hope to make something out of this. So that's what I'm trying to work on. It so hard and spending a lot of time on this to make sure that everything's good. So I think this is looking good. I don't know what you guys think, but it'll definitely help once we put hair. Ooh. So once we put hair on, make it the right colors, and then obviously put a cutie mark on. Maybe deal with the wing maybe a little bit. Definitely don't make an alicorn. I think it'll look pretty good, and then we can go from there. So yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's half and half of making a cartoon is half and half of making things, and then half of it is animating. So this is pretty much half of the work or more. Like probably like 60% of the work of making a cartoon is making things. Obviously, it's not just all drawing or all animating and all making a cartoon. It's like you have to like make the backgrounds, make the characters. So that's what I'm saying. Oh, really? It fills in your name? Cool. YouTube has a new, somewhat recent update that you can, at least as me as an admin, I can press Alt on the chat and it'll go into slow mode, which doesn't change anything. But I can also delete timeouts and block people. So that's cool. Thanks YouTube for adding that button instead of, you know, the other button that you already had. Making that one better. Just add a new button and then have it do the same thing. Thanks YouTube. Really appreciate that. Also thanks YouTube for making the mid-roll ads from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. The requirement to have a minimum amount of length of a video. Yeah. So now we shouldn't be seeing 10-minute long videos, you know, that are you know, have like way too much stretch time. They're just gonna be a little bit shorter by 120 seconds. Yay. Okay. Should I repeat myself? Because I feel like I've been repeating myself the entire time of this. That maybe I'll make a community post on Thursday, and probably Discord or whatever else, to say like, yeah, unless you know there's a trip which I'm gonna go out with family, go out pretty far and doing a nice little adventure with them. So that's, I don't know the exact time frame, but I expect it to be a long time, and I'll probably be tired by the end of that as well. That'll be hard to then resync and go, let me go back into streaming mode with this. So yeah. You need to prove yourself before you can make videos longer than 15 minutes. Oh yeah. I think to prove yourself is like verifying your email or you have to like send your phone number. This was like in 2013 where like you had to like send in your phone number to Google and then you like look at that and say like, oh yeah, I guess you do have a phone number. Way to go. You can now upload videos longer than 15 minutes now. Yeah. I don't know how things have changed. I don't know. My recent channel was like 2017, because that was when Odyssey came out. 18? Around then. So I don't think we might have just tried to skirt around it, or maybe I did do the telephone thing. Yeah, it would have been. You couldn't even have custom thumbnails without applying for monetization. Applying for monetization. Wow. Huh. Custom thumbnails. Yeah. I guess because I'm so used to being a YouTube partner or whatever they're called, where you can get, you know, like 2 cents per live stream now with my videos. That I am taking it for granted that it's like, oh yeah, I now just kind of stress out making thumbnails rather than wall being like, why can't I have thumbnails? So, oh boy. Someone's you can actually type something in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Not to be a slow mode that yeah, exactly. You can. Oh, that you can only type only every other minute. Okay. And then somehow to like do like a red light, stop light to choose like which one to let in every couple cycle, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't need it. I would do now. How many people are in here? That's a lot. Okay. Thanks for joining. Ooh, the chat on that one. Oh, I broke the chat. Okay. Ah. Yeah, we're definitely not needing to. I can read all your stuff without having to stop the chat or whatever. So we're good. There's no monetization back then. Maybe like in 2005. I don't know. Probably just as a timeout. Sorta. Yeah, exactly. Just shorter. Because I think a timeout is like 3 or 5 minutes. So yeah. I mean, it's not like you can not chat at all for 5 minutes. It just means I can only, with slow mode, you can only type only however long it says. What was it, like 30 seconds? Okay. 5. I think we're good, unless, let's see if there's anything else. Let's see. Cause I kinda ran out. So yeah, likelihood of the stream on Thursday is minimal. I'll let you know whether or not there is. But yeah, just don't get mad, I guess, is the big thing. I was thinking of maybe doing another stream volume thing, but I think it'll be, I feel like it's too soon. Especially I'll run out of stuff. I'll run out of content soon if I just keep doing the stream volumes. The stream shorts. I always forget it. Whatever I call it. That's probably a bad sign that I can't remember what the title is. It's not memorable then. Let's see. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Thanks, Krish. Oh, welcome back. Okay. Hello. Thanks. So that's what I mean, like, just making stuff is like half the battle, or even more. It's more than half the battle of making the assets. So obviously it pays off by making a whole bunch of different things. It means that you can don't have to rely on, like, if I had like one blink frame, then it'd be the same blink every time. But now it's got like 6 frames, so in case I needed to have somehow, like, she like closes her eyes a little bit for whatever reason, it's like, oh, I got that frame now, so I can use this as its own thing. Or if I need it to be like a close thing, I have like 2 frames to be able to choose between that, or maybe I need this expression or something. I have more options to play with. So that's why I'm needing to make it a whole bunch of different stuff, is that I can have more options to play with. So, and with the puppet, then I can do different things and play with it, as you saw. Like, I can rotate the parts around, but make sure that everything is formatted in a way that I can change between it and it all works. So that's why we keep working on this a lot. It's just because it's making all these invisible edits that's like you don't really see them really. So that's why it seems like it's taking forever, because we're not really making things that we're not adding on to new. We're not making new things. We're just adding on to things we already have. So it seems like a smaller thing, but in the long run, it'll be really important to have all these different mouths and different things. So then it's just important to have all these different things. So I said it right? Yay! Alright. Yeah, because you got no vowels. Let's see. Thanks, Star. Thanks everyone who came in and chatted. Thank you. So now it is like weird toast time where I actually talk to you guys. Which is the only time that I don't have to chat on screen. So, that's interesting. I don't know if that's interesting or whether or not I should have that or not. Should I put the chat on stream for the toaster time? So obviously the original point was just I didn't have the window view of what I'm doing on toaster time, so it was just like a little blank void. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keep it chatless. Don't bother. Okay, thanks guys. Okay. Yeah. I think the most important thing was that I put the stream 2s and 3s, 4 p.m. PST and 7 p.m. EST. I think that's my favorite edition lately, which is the only edition I've really done. Because I usually have to say that every time, so now I got that as a text. So that helps. Hello. Let's see. I think we're good. Now we're just talking, so I think we're good. Let's see. So all I'm really good at is just rambling, as well as just repeating the same things. So unless there's anything else. I'll final thoughts on Paper Mario. We can do that. Because I've only played like 3 or 4 hours. So I could just say like, I like it. I just have to pretend that it looks like a Paper Mario. Sorta. It feels, you know, everything feels paper-wise. You know, it's fun. Again, it's just those battles. It's just like it can't be the same because it's not a new gimmick, you know. So it can never be the same. So it's just like frustrating with that because it's like it was a perfect battle system with the 64 and 1000 door, and now it's like we've already done that. Even Super Paper Mario was like that was already like so different in its own gameplay thing that's like it can never have a battle system exactly rather than the real time thing. And then with Sticker Star, it's like well now we get the cards, which set up Color Splash as well to have cards. So now what we're gonna do next? Kind of go back, but like only a half step to like a traditional battle. But it's like you kind of get kind of bored of it a little bit. At least I'm kind of already bored of it. And just because there hasn't been much variety. Like I've been, you know, like hammering Goombas for like 3 hours already. And like the maps are so big that it's like the enemy variety has to be, you know, it's not that much. Like you're gonna hit Shy Guys in this area, and then you're gonna hit Whoopers or Swoopers in this area, and it's like cool. Can I have more? Yeah. So I'll keep playing it. I'm right next. I'm right outside of a boss. I think. I think the first mega boss. So, just because I got spoiled for that, I already know what it is. So I'll see how that goes because I think the battle system of that is a little bit different, or at least it's the same ring thing, but it's like you do something else different. So I'll see how that goes, and if that's not interesting, then yeah, then it'd be hard to want to continue with it. Cause that's how it was like with Sticker Star. I kind of said that too. That for Sticker Star, it's like you don't have RPG exactly elements. You don't get XP. There's no progression. You're using whatever the game gives you, in terms of your main battle mechanics. You have no incentive to battle enemies, because of that. So you're better off running away from the main, like, gameplay aspect of it. What you're supposed to be doing for half the time is something that you should be avoiding. Is not a good you know, gameplay fun thing. Yeah. Yeah, like Hooktail did like interesting things. Everyone hates LucasArts. I know. I wanted to like it. It was like, it's 3DS. It's got 3D. Even like the first previews had like that chain shop and like something else as like a partner. It's like, look, they're in a battle with Mario. Look, it looks great, you know? They have the Dwops in that dungeon. It's like, wow, a Wiggler? Whoa! Classic enemies that I recognize. And then it's like, whoops, they're all enemies I recognize. And then like the battles were like, I hate consumable items. I'm such a conservative. That's like I never know when to want to use them. I feel like I need to like protect them. I never like want to get rid of things. Because I never know like, well, maybe I want that fire flower for later, but if that's only my option that I have at that particular moment, it's like I don't want to use it. Especially if like, well, maybe in the next world is like an ice world and I gotta use the fire flower. But I'm like in a desert world, so like it has no effect right now. It's like, but if I run out of every other item, that's my only option. And then I would run out of items and be sad. So, let's see. Spotty G4 named our car. Oh, cool. Did we have the 3D? I mean, Paper Mario was in the 64 was in 3D. That was the point of it, was that it was a 3D environment with the 2D sprites that made it look like, oh, they're paper. But yeah, I was talking about the stereoscopic 3D with the 3DS. Hi, kitty. Boy. Let's see. Looks like Octavia. Oh, Octavia. I didn't read the rest of it. Sorry. Staccata? You mean staccata? Yeah, that's a music thing. Well, I guess like a car can have that. I mean, like there's Fiesta. It's like, whoa, was that named after the party? You know, it's like, yeah. Oh boy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, review, I guess, of the 3 hours I played of Origami King. It's yeah, it's what I've been saying. Like, it's fun. It's funny. There's generally genuinely, there you go, funny moments. I laughed. I LOL'd. I raffled IRL. It's fun if you're a kid and it's like this is your first experience with Mario. I think it'll be fantastic. If you're a jaded 20-year-old man like me, is who played the other games, it's like, this isn't what I want. This isn't fun. It's like, maybe it's not for you, you know. So obviously they're going for the demographic that they probably should gear towards. So it's like, it's fine. It's like with Pony. It's like it just has to only like appeal to the demographic, and that's the marketing 101. So at the end of the day, is if it's fun for kids, then perfect. If that's what they're going for, perfect. But if it's like, yeah, if it's not fun for a kid, then yeah, it's not gonna be fun for most adults, then I would think. Let's see. Ford Fiesta. Thank you. Okay. Never finished it? Yeah, it gets pretty tricky. You gotta get good. Let's see. Let's look on Cortez. Oh yeah, Cortez. Didn't he have like 5 swords at the beginning? I think he's really hard at the beginning, and then like he loses his swords, and like it gets easier. So that's like the hard part of it, is that like you have to, you know, you get Sans, Megalovania. It's like, well, I'm gonna use my most powerful attack at the beginning, kind of a thing, and then I think it gets easier. Because then he's just like a skull, and you just hit him. But then he brings out his other swords again. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, because he does a lot of damage because he's got so many swords. Because all of his swords attack you. Yeah. Is that what it was? I think, yeah, it's got the cutlasses, or like the curved swords. Yeah. I remember that being tricky. I think, yeah, that was during a time when it's like, I want to play, my dad and I would play games together, so it was like really cute co-op. It was like, oh, I can't beat this boss. Dad, can you play? And then he would play. So, yeah. I remember not playing that particular boss, so I have less memories of it because I think it just took forever, or Dad took forever, and I probably just went out and did something else. So, yeah. Let's see. Bone Tail. Yeah, look, all these memorable bosses. What's a memorable boss from Origami King? Stapler. Colored pencils. Ugh. This one got Bone Tail is awesome. Image looks very tough. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just playing through all the different pieces that I already made. That's why it's all weird. It's just a animation test to, yeah, see all the different parts that I made so far. Yeah. Did I review it? Origami King? I think I did. Yeah. If I had to recommend it, it'd be dependent on the person. Obviously, again with the demographic, I think that's just the big part. I think that's the big thing that like most reviewers or people reading reviewers, might have some kind of bias against it. That's like, wait a minute, why did you like it, reviewer? I didn't like it. It's like, why would it's opinion? So obviously all this is opinion with me on my side as well. But I think same for most people that your demographic will probably depend on how much enjoyment you'll get, as well as if you played previous retro games, like GameCubes. Can it be considered retro? I don't know, because the GameCube is like 20 years old next year, so when does it fall in line? Where it ought to be. Let's see. Oh man, oh star. Door's the only one he played, though I know a lot about 64 because of Strider. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think if your only knowledge is Strider's Paper Mario, then I think that'd be a little bit. It's a different view or perspective of the game rather than being a general. This is how you can enjoy the game in a natural environment, kind of a setting. If that makes sense. So, I think 64 is on the, well, I was gonna say the Wii eShop, but or the Wii, what was it? Wii Shop? Was it eShop? No, it was just like the shopping channel. Which might also be on the Wii U. It's definitely not on the Switch, so that'd be, unless you got the 64 hardware, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you know how to break it, but not how to regularly play. Yeah, you know how to like find 10 Luigis or like break reality, but it's like, I don't know how to just progress, from chapter 2 to 3. I don't know how to do that. There. 64 was 10 when it was on virtual. GameCube was 20. Oof. There's been no way playing this games on Switch. I know. I think it might just be it's such a minor thing, but like I think the triggers on a GameCube controller had the adaptive or like analog triggers. Like the L and R buttons. You could like slowly push it down and then it would be like a small whatever you're doing, or it could be all the way down and do like a bigger one. So that's impossible to do with digital triggers that the Switch has. So like Mario's Sunshine, and I don't think Paper Mario would have that, but it might be at least a factor, or Nintendo just doesn't know how to use Dolphin Emulator on their Switch. Get that on there. Mosquito on any. Local of Y20. I'm not gonna do requests right now. Thank you. I'm just gonna talk. I've played on an NES before. In my state, I think there's a museum where they have like a video game museum, and I think I might have touched it. In NES, I'm not sure. I definitely personally did not own an NES. My first console was a SNES, so my first game was Mario World. So, yeah, I never actually played a. I don't think I've really actually played on the hardware on the NES. Huh? Yeah. Wow. I got the NES Classic, so I think that'd be obviously the closest. But yeah, I don't think I've actually definitely played all the NES games on virtual consoles and stuff. I don't think I've actually used a take hardware. I have an SNES. So I have an SNES. I have a GameCube. So I skipped out on NES and 64, but I have everything else of consoles. So yeah. Boop boop boop. Yeah. Yeah, I have a Atari 2600. Yeah, I got that one. I'm actually looking at it. We actually have the original box. It's pretty fun. I love all the little pictures on it. They have like the game box of the console has a bunch of different pictures. That's cool. All these like interstitials of boxes of kids reacting, going whoa, in like 4 colors on screen. Oh boy. I think I played Paperboy on probably emulator, obviously, but I don't think. What would have been? Where would it have been? Would have been Wii? I don't think it was. Would have been in television? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think I've actually used one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My dad also liked the C64, what was that, Commodore 64? I think that's a computer that you could like write programs and make games on that. He like talks about that a lot. Daddy likes that. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, we'll go on for a little bit longer. If I'm not gonna do a Thursday stream, I'll go on for a little bit longer. Which I already am a little bit, but yeah, if there's anything else for you. Yeah. That's okay. Because it's not like more people join in like later, so I guess it kind of works out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was popular in one of the best-selling consoles. Oh, really? Like, is it better than like PS2 and more modern stuff? Huh. Like, best-selling is interesting. Like, whether or not it's like, oh, it's the best-selling in a week, or it's best-selling of all time. Like, obviously, like DS, I think is the most popular ever, in terms of the sales. I don't know. Definitely for retro consoles, and probably yeah. Yeah. Okay. See you, Cookie. Thank you. 77. Yeah. As a 90 kids, I can't exactly relate, but yeah. It was the most sold until the Wii. Ah, okay. And then probably the DS probably also in lifetime sales, if you just count the DS maybe as a family of systems. Again, that'll probably like cheat it up to the top in that case. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Yeah. That's bad. I remember like playing with DVDs. Like as a toddler. I was like, hey, look at a Shrek DVD. I'm gonna open it and like drop the disc, you know, from a high place, and it's like, that's funny. So when I played my Shrek DVD later on, it would always like break at like the Robin Hood part, and it's like forever like in my mind. It's like whenever I watch like a clean version of Shrek, it's like, who's this Robin Hood guy? Like, I actually vividly don't remember the Robin Hood segment just because, like, my original DVD, like, broke at that part. So it's like, it always, like, oh, well, it stopped, so let me skip to the next part. And it'd be, like, later on or whatever. So it's like, that was so weird. Like even like a Mandela effect is like, wait a minute, was there Robin Hood? It's like, whoa, there was. Yeah. uh. Game Boy was best on. Okay. Oh yeah, I got VHS too. I guess I played the DVD later. VHS were fun. We're getting into like watching more like retro game shows, like on YouTube. So like they're all on VHS quality. So that's been really fun watching like way like 70s and 80s game shows. So we're finding like concentration and the grocery shopping one, supermarket sweep. Uh, what was it? What's my line? So I was like, yeah, we have to watch those on YouTube, but it's like they're all VHS quality. So it's like it's fun to like. My favorite part is watching the like 80s commercials. It's like how different they're like their demographic of like appealing to, you know, like middle-aged people in the 80s is like everything's like synth and really chill. It's like, oh, I bet you want this chocolate, and it's like, wow, that was weird. You know, it's like growing up as the 90s, it's like everything's like bombastic and like, especially for kids, it's like skateboarding's cool. Haha. We're gonna like airheads our head and like we're gonna make our heads into balloons and then fly off and then go zoo, and it's like that's completely different. It's like, wow, from my childhood, like all these like cartoons are completely different. Yeah, with the commercials, yeah. So it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's okay, Jack. Yeah. Oh wow. Do CDs? Yeah, I guess CDs could work in a PS3. I didn't think about that. The only reason we really got like a PS3 was just to get the Blu-ray, because it's like, well, you either get like a Blu-ray, or maybe you can get a Blu-ray with it could play also a game. It's like, oh, that seems great. So yeah. Oh, XP. I don't like all those people who like remember playing those games, like the maze game and all those. Like even like my background is like the After Dark, which I don't remember, but it's like it's so funny that it's just like I wanted it to have that as a, because like my beginning, my intro with the starting to, which obviously I didn't use this time, is the, you know, the Windows like file copying thing. So I was like, I like that. Like all these retro computer stuff is fun. But also making it still like the same style as my cartoons. So it's like fun with that. Yeah. Maze was 95. Oh yeah. I remember the one I vividly remember is like either Vista or one of those, and it had like screensavers of like pipes, like the 3D pipes that would like go into in depth. I remember that one. There's also like the XP or Vista where it had the bubbles. That was my favorite. Whereas like instead of being a traditional screensaver where like it went to black or whatever, it still had your original screen, but it would just like drop a bunch of like bubbles, and they would like fall from the top and like have physics at the bottom. So they were like more like bowling balls in that case. I remember that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's put milk in it. Oh wow. You free. Oh yeah, it was Flash games. Yeah. Save your Chrome or your Internet Explorers to like have like Flash Player enabled or something. I think my dad like tried to figure out like how to get like an exe to like run Flash Player so you can do because if you didn't know, the Flash Player, which is different from Flash, Adobe Animate itself as a program, the Flash Player is going to be dissolved. So, oh, it wasn't Flash. Okay, well, I'm going to tell it to add Flash though, because as a Flash animator, it just means that Flash Player will itself be dead, by next year. So that means that you won't be able to watch Newgrounds type stuff. Because that's natively Flash. That's the only like main big thing, mainstream thing that still is Flash. Can't think of any other Flash things that are mainstream, but definitely all those types of content will. I think it just won't be turned on by automatically, but I think eventually it'll just be you won't have a button to be able to turn it on at all. So that's gonna be the problem. Yeah, boy. His internal game in 95. Oh, okay. Maybe someone like ported it to Flash or something. Yeah, I never like actually played it, so that's probably why I don't remember it. Let's see. Yeah, Scary Yeti. Oh, cool. Okay, it's working on it. Perfect. Okay. It's working on its own player that is converting all of its content. Oh, awesome. Okay. That's good. It's too bad that they, have to do that. That they have to make this converter. That it can't just keep running or keep trucking with it. It's like, oh well, now we gotta have this sort of a separate player or something that'll have to convert all of them. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Phones pretty much code off the Flash or the Flash player, and it's pretty sad. No. No, I'm thinking so. Yeah, I'm kind of getting myself a little bit bored, but that's okay. I can keep going if you want me to. It's kind of ran out of steam in this thought. But yeah. Hopefully this was fun. I know that we did like 4 frames, but they're pretty good frames with the legs. So, yeah, I'll wrap it up now. I'll try and get the. So the timeline is that Thursday won't be a stream, and then during that time between now and next week, I will see if I can work on this puppet. In the meantime, and then get more parts done, and then for next stream we can make a script and then decide what characters we need, anything else we'll need. So I'll have you guys choose the script, choose what kind of characters, and then we'll go from there and make that kind of cartoon from that script. So if you choose like, oh well, maybe we need a Discord, it's like, I hope not. Because that would mean, spending the time to make a Discord and then animating it. So we'll probably just have to limit it to either the main 6 or maybe the background horses or something. Something that uses this particular base. So could be like a Lyra, it could be a Derpy, it could be what else? Pinky. So those kind of characters. I think the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders were in a recent episode of Pony Life, so might have to do some tweaks, but they don't seem very different. They just seem to be scaled smaller. Is really the big thing, and they just have bigger hair, so that's obviously easier to do than creating a whole new asset. So it's interesting because it's like they have in Pony Life smaller or younger characters, like the Pipsqueak or whatever kind of character in the second story, where it had like smaller eyes and like its pupils were like that, it didn't have irises, and it's like, oh, is this how school age ponies are? There's like they're half the size of the small horses that already are there. But it's like the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders they're just like a third of the size somewhat. Like they just scaled them down like from 100% to 80%. So I noticed that their eyes, like with Gen 4, like the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders or school age ponies, they have like 3 eye shines, which are the white dots that are on the eyes there. They have like 3 eye shines in G4, but in Pony Life they have the 2. I don't know if that's an oversight or if it's like meant to keep them consistent, or, you know, if it's just something to go with toys. I don't know. But it is something interesting. Weird in my mind to think about. But obviously it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter for you guys. But definitely the Kingdom Crusaders could be on the table, but I think the Pipsqueak weird small character from the second story would need at least some edits to its base, I would say. So any main six, any Kingdom Crusaders, any kind of background characters would be up for the script, but not Discord or animals or any other thing that I can't think of right now would be applicable. So I'll probably say this next time as well. But if you wanted to start thinking of your own script or something, or maybe just make something that could be, you know, animated within due time, something that could be less than, you know, a couple sentences to describe. It was just one sentence, you know, Derpy blank blank blank, and then that's it. Could be pretty much the whole thing that we probably can have time for, whether or not I get bored from working on it for so long as well. But yeah, I'll probably read this next time too, so very good for you guys to think about it as well. So sorry at the beginning that it was weird. I didn't realize that the unforeseen circumstance would break my stream before it even started. So that'll probably also happen next time as well once I figure it out. So I'll have to look into what that means, or it could just, obviously it's a temporal problem where it didn't stick around the entire time. Like it just like fixed itself basically. If you weren't there for the beginning, we now have 2 streams now. That's when I kind of broke at the beginning, because like it said, like on my stream, I clicked the go live button on my stream box, stream OBS, and it was like stream title is not working, and it's like, do you want more information? And I was like, yes, and it was like, your title's not working. And I was like, what? I've never seen that error. And it's like the more information was basically what the title of what was wrong. So I was like, great. That doesn't help me diagnose it at all. It's like, is it the title in somehow the meta of the OBS? Was it the YouTube side where it's like the title was, it was different. It wasn't like a duplicate. But now to fix it, or like at least have a way that was working, was to make a duplicate, and then I apparently used the same title, and while I was changing the title to make it different, the go live button was like, hey, looks like you're ready to go. It's like, hey, just click this button and you're good. I was like, what? And then I clicked it, and it's like, wait, and then it was like chugging, and it's like, here we go, and it's like, you're live, and it's like, what? So who knows? Maybe that's just a weird thing. If it happens again, then maybe I'll start a little bit sooner or something. I don't know. So, but with that, let's see. Oh dear, more comments. Okay. You guys can probably like keep talking, like even after the stream can end, and you guys can keep talking if you want to. But I'm gonna end. I'm gonna go have dinner. I'm gonna have time with my family. I hope you guys have fun. So yeah. I'm gonna spend extra time on Thursday with my family, so I think that'd be fun. Unless that somehow gets canceled, I'll make sure to let you guys know on Thursday the situation. So with that, hope you guys take care. Stay safe, all that. Have fun. See ya. Bye bye. See you soon.